Simple Social Tools Review. Okay, let's begin with my Simple Social Tools Review. Watch my Simple Social Tools Review to uncover the software that builds a highly targeted audience on Facebook. In my Simple Social Tools Review, I will be going across this software, developed by Demetris DPapa, Reyes and Jacque Morris. Simple Social Tools is a set of simple-to-use tools that virtually eliminate the time-consuming and repetitive work of social networking and builds your audience fast. By acquiring Simple Social Tools, you will have access to automated invites, like content, automated messages. The Audience Toolkit automates more tasks involved with social networking, such as adding targeted friends to an unlimited number of profiles, automating messaging to all your new connected friends, sending automated mass messages to existing connected friends, deleting all pending friend requests with no responses, automatically liking content, posts, videos and images, and much more. So all you're left to do is engage with the people that you want to connect with. Forget about repetitive tasks, and focus on building your audience, and building your business. Discover how Simple Social Tools allows you to build a highly targeted audience, auto-message new friends, auto-engage with friends' content, auto-remove unconnected people, build large groups and pages, and more, all 100% free. In this Simple Social Tools Review, we are going to take a look at the amazing software. In the Simple Social Tools, we find 4 modules. Module 1. Automated Invites. Module 2. Pending Requests. Module 3. Like Content. Module 4. Automated Messages. Reyes will explain in detail, in a clear and simple way, each of the modules, and how they work.
So here we are on Facebook, and the first tool we're going to go over is the Add Facebook Friends feature. Now, before we actually get into adding Facebook friends, it's important to understand that the software was designed to mimic natural behavior patterns. So whatever you would manually do on your keyboard naturally, the software is going to automate that process. But nobody would naturally send out 100 friend invites in 60 seconds. So the software is not going to do that. All that's going to do is get your account flagged, get you blocked, get you shut down, all the stuff that we don't want to happen, right? The complete opposite. So to add Facebook friends, first thing we need to do is we need to find content that our ideal customers, our ideal prospects, clients are engaging with. The more relevant the content to what you have to offer, the better, higher quality the audience is going to be. So in this case, we're on Jillian Michaels' fitness page here, and let's say this content post is exactly what my ideal audience is engaging with. I'm going to click on this number here that shows me the actual individuals that engaged with this post. And once I'm at this window here, I'm going to run the Chrome extension. Now, when this window comes up, I'm going to click on Add Facebook Friends, and it's going to modify the top of this window. There's a couple different options here. The delay is the number of seconds you want in between friend requests. Again, we don't want to send a friend request every second. We want to mimic what people would naturally do. So I'm going to enter in 10 for this example, but ideally we would do 20 seconds. That's what we recommend in between friend requests. Now the total here is the total number of friend requests you want to attempt to send out. The maximum here is 1,500 per session, but in this quick demo, I'm just going to enter 10. And then we're going to click Start and let the tool do its thing. It's going to find friends, it's going to automatically send out the request, and if you come up with any, or if you see any pop-ups or any warnings or any messages, the software will take care of all of those pop-ups appropriately to keep your account safe. So there it is, 10 friend invites have been processed, and when it's finished here, it'll tell you how many of them were successful. So we had 5 successful requests sent. Now the success rate is going to depend on your audience, whether they're international, whether they're domestic, whether you have any mutual friends in common, and all the different things that Facebook takes into consideration when it decides which friend requests it lets go through and which ones get warnings or pop-ups or suggestions. And that's basically all there is to automating the friend request process. Now, you don't have to sit here and watch it. You can let this run in the background while you're doing other things on your computer, or you can even set it up to send 1,000 friend requests while you sleep. But that's how you use the Add Facebook Friends feature. Now we're going to cover how to delete pending requests. Once you get up to 1,000 pending requests, Facebook won't allow you to send any more friend requests until you either delete those pending requests or they start being accepted or declined. So to delete your pending requests, what we're going to do is click this button here that says pending requests. And that's going to bring us over to the mobile version of Facebook. And when we're on this mobile version here, we're just going to click this button again to actually launch the tool. That's going to count all the requests that we have, and it's going to go through its process to automatically delete all the pending requests. So there we go, 36 pending requests were automatically deleted, and I'm going to click this link here to take me back to the desktop version. Now, if you don't see this link after your pending requests are completed, you can just type facebook.com into your browser and you'll be taken back to this desktop version of Facebook. Now we're going to cover the like content feature. The whole idea behind liking content is that we want to build as many social connections in Facebook's eyes as possible, so that when we post on our wall, when we go live, we have more potential to have greater exposure. So I'm going to click this like content button to launch the tool, and you'll see this navigation come up on the left hand side. You have the option to start the liker, to stop the liker, or to exit the process. So I'm going to start the process here. You'll notice that the liker is not going to like every single post. It's going to randomly like a post based on the settings that we have for the liker. Believe it or not, Facebook has a tolerance on how much content they'll allow you to like within a certain amount of time. So we've configured the tool to really be in line with Facebook's tolerance for allowable consecutive likes. So that's how we have it set up, so don't worry if it's not liking every piece of content, but you can tell what content is being evaluated based on the blue border that's around the actual post that it's looking at. Now, this will like up to 200 content or 200 posts within every session. We don't recommend you run these sessions back to back because of that limit that Facebook has, but we'll let it run for a few seconds. If you do let it run the full course to like 200 posts, then it'll take about 30 to 40 minutes depending on how much content it likes. So there you go, we've liked 10 pieces of content. Now there's two quick notes with the like content feature before we move on to the next feature. And number one is that this is best used on your personal newsfeed, or you can use it in any group. Now, number two is this is the only tool or the only feature that has to have its own window. When you're using something like the automatic friender, you can have multiple tabs up, you can have it running in the background, it'll work perfectly fine. But because of the way the liker works, you need to have it in its own window, and it has to be in focus. So if you want to do things while the liker is liking and engaging in content, you're going to have to pull up a brand new window for you to work in versus adding a different tab to the existing window that the liker is in. So just make sure that it has its own window as the only tab in that window, and you'll be good to go. In this video, we're going to cover how to use the automated messages feature. So to launch the Audience Toolkit, we're simply going to click on the Chrome extension icon here. And when the Audience Toolkit comes up, we're going to click on the Automate Messages button. Now that's going to take us over to the mobile version of Facebook Chat. And when you're on this mobile version here, we're going to click this Automate Messages button one more time. Now, a few different pages are going to load after you click that button, and then ultimately you're going to get a toolbar here with two different messaging options, and you'll see the mobile version of Facebook Chat again in the background. So once you're to this page and you have these two options available, you can message by sending a broadcast to selected friends or only message new friends. Now we're going to show the demonstration on messaging new friends in this video tutorial, but first I'll go over the broadcast to selected friends feature. Now before I do that, I want to clarify how a new friend is defined when it comes to automated messaging. So a new friend is defined as somebody who you are connected with on Messenger, but there has been no chat dialogue between you. So you haven't sent them a message, they haven't sent you a message. The only message is the system generated Facebook message here that says, say hi to your new Facebook friend with their name, or it says something like you are now connected with so-and-so on Messenger. And this This system-generated message may change from time to time, but as long as there is no dialogue in between you and your newly connected friend, they are going to qualify as a new friend. So let's look at the first example up here. This person was just added to this Facebook profile this morning, and they sent me a message about 4 hours ago that says hi. Now, even though they were just added to my friends list and we were just connected this morning, they would not qualify as a new friend when it comes to automated messaging because they've already sent me a message in our chat. Now, the second person here just has this system-generated message, so they would qualify as a new friend when it comes to automated messaging. So I hope that makes sense, but it's important to understand how a new friend is defined. Now, when we click on broadcast to selected friends, you're going to see a bunch of different options here. Now, it's important to note too that when we're sending automated messages, group chats are excluded automatically from the messaging. So you can't automate a message to group chat. So if there's more than one person in a chat, it's just going to skip that chat when it comes to sending the messages. So the first thing you need to do is you need to select how many messages you want to send. So message up to, and here you enter in the number of messages you want to attempt to send. Now currently the limit is 100 messages per session. You can run multiple sessions, but we generally don't recommend running multiple sessions per day because the 100 limit in our testing is kind of where we have found the tolerance to be for most accounts. Now every account is different, so the tolerance for every account is going to vary significantly, but in all the accounts we've tested, 100 is pretty close to the limit for most accounts when it comes to automated messaging. So that's why we have the limit of 100 here, and that may change based on further testing and when we find out what Facebook tolerance is and how Facebook is changing their tolerance for automated messages. So choose how many messages you want to attempt to send, and then you have to choose before or after a certain timestamp. Now this is before or after you have been connected or have had a recent chat with a person. So for example, if I select send 10 messages after, and I choose yesterday, and let's just say I do 11:59 p.m. So this is going to message up to 10 people who I have had conversations with or I have been connected with on Messenger after yesterday at 11:59 p.m., which is essentially all day today. They would qualify to receive these messages. So if I wanted to send a message to anyone who I've talked to today, this is the setting that I would use. Now, if I don't want to message anyone who I've talked to so far today, then I would do send 10 messages to anyone I have connected with or had conversations with before this timestamp. So anyone who I've talked to today would not qualify based on these settings. This would only look for people who I have had conversations with or been connected with before yesterday at 11:59 p.m. So that's how we draw a line in the sand as to who we want to message based on a timestamp. So I hope that makes sense. Two quick important notes. If you look over here on the right hand side, you'll see a timestamp of like this message was sent to me 4 hours ago. I was connected with this person 4 hours ago. Here's 5 hours, here's 5 hours. Now this is not always 100% accurate. It's close and it's a guideline, but those time frames are rounded, so you really can't get down to the specific minute. So we generally will recommend using a day as a cutoff period. Now alternatively, as another note, if you want to send a message to somebody now and just note the time and come back 4 hours later, then you can message 10 more people and you can choose before the specific time you sent that last message. And that will ensure that you don't message the same people that you've already messaged. So I hope that makes sense here. Let's move on to the next setting here, which is the ignore list. And this is where you can choose who you want to skip. So if I wanted to send messages to these people here, and the broadcaster is going to send messages based on your setting. It doesn't matter whether they're new friends or whether they're existing friends with a chat history, it's going to message anyone who qualifies in these settings. But let's say I didn't want to send a message to this person here, right? Or let's say Cooper. I didn't want to send a message to Cooper. Then what I would do is I would choose a time frame that maybe Cooper qualifies. So I'll do after yesterday at midnight, because we're just connected today, so he would qualify for that. But if for any reason I didn't want to message him, or I'm sending a message that maybe he's already received in the past, I would just put his name right here, Cooper. And if you want to add multiple people, then you can put a comma, and I can add Michael, I can add James, I can add Sue. You can add as many names as you want here, all comma separated. And what the software is going to do is anytime it looks into a specific chat and it gets ready to send a message, it's going to do a name check. And if this name matches the name of the person who is on the chat, it's going to skip them. So in this case, it would skip everyone named Cooper, Michael, James, and Sue. Now, let's say I had multiple people named Michael or multiple people named Cooper on my chat. This is going to ignore every Cooper that there is. So if I wanted to just say ignore Cooper Smith, then I would put Cooper Smith and a comma. So now it's going to look for the first and the last name. So it's going to look for an exact match. Whatever you enter in here, it's going to check the name, and if that matches, then it's going to ignore that person and not send a message. So in this case, everyone else named Cooper would receive a message, but Cooper Smith would be the only one who would be skipped. And it works the same for last names, so if you want, you can go ahead and just put Smith, and now anyone who has the last name Smith would be skipped when we send our messages. So that's how the ignore list works here. And the next thing we have to do is add messages. So you can add multiple messages by clicking this plus button here. You can remove messages by clicking the minus sign. And we highly recommend adding multiple messages because when it comes to messaging, we don't want to run the risk of Facebook thinking that we are spamming and sending the same exact message over and over and over again, which is commonly associated with spam. So let me type in a few messages here and then I'll show you exactly how this works. Okay, so here we have 3 different messages. Now when you add multiple messages, the software is going to randomly choose one of the messages to send to each recipient. Now the first message is very generic. Hey there, thanks for connecting on Facebook. The second message uses a dynamic placeholder here, and it's hello, first name, comma, thanks for accepting my invite, what's your business? Now when you add a placeholder like this, we have 3 different options currently, which is first name, last name, or full name. And if you put that in brackets, just as you see here, it's going to replace this placeholder with their actual name when we send a message. And you'll see that here in the demonstration here when we send messages to new friends. But it's going to replace that with their first name. So it's more personalized. It seems less spammy, less automated because we're adding their specific name. And then I put in a qualifier here. Sometimes I'll do something like, what's your business? Because I want to connect with other business owners. That's an audience who I can serve. Those are people who I want to connect with. And if the person I'm connecting with doesn't have a business, then it's not really the audience that I'm personally looking to connect with. So just a quick tip, you might want to add a qualifier to see who you want to spend time having conversations with. Now on the third line here, I did another placeholder. Hi, first name, great to connect with you. How are you doing? With the question mark. Now you can also add emoticons, emojis, anything you can do on a normal Facebook chat, you can add that here as well. And once we're ready to go, we're going to click the send button and it'll start sending the messages according to our settings. Now before we do that, we're going to go over to new friends and we're going to test this with some new friends. So let me go ahead and add some new messages and I'll be right back. So there we go, we have 3 new messages and we are on the only message new friends option. Now when you choose only message new friends, you'll notice the settings here change just a little bit. With new friends, we only have to include an added since timestamp. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna message up to 10 new friends who have been added since, and we choose how far we want the system to go back. And again, we generally suggest going by days, so I'm gonna leave this here for yesterday at 11:59 p.m., which essentially means anyone that was added to my friends list today as of midnight. So the limit on new friends is only 40 per session. Now again, we don't recommend you run multiple sessions back to back, but you can do that at your discretion. But per session, the limit is 40 people, 40 messages. And that is because when it comes to broadcasts to existing friends, there's a higher tolerance. So that's why we have the limit on broadcast to 100. But the tolerance is less for brand new friends, so we set it to 40. So keep that in mind. If you're broadcasting and new friends are being included in that broadcast, Facebook doesn't allow as many messages to go out without giving you a prompt in our testing. So now we're going to go ahead and run this, and when I click send, what the software is going to do is it's going to go all the way back to this timestamp. So it's going to go all the way back to yesterday at 11:59 p.m. It's going to calculate how many people qualify. Then it'll come back up to the top and start sending messages. So let's go ahead and click send and see it in action. That's essentially all there is to using the automated messaging feature. And as you can see up here, we already got one response from one of our new friends. And when people start responding, all that's left is for you to continue the conversation.
Okay, up to here is the members area, in which you will know everything related to Simple Social Tools. By Simple Social Tools, you have all the required knowledge to obtain the named benefits, as long as you put yourself in action. An upgrade can facilitate you enhance these results. Simple Social Tools have 3 upgrades, and they are: Upgrade 1, Affiliate Blueprint; Upgrade 2, Marketing Boot Camps; Upgrade 3, Reseller Partner Program. After you obtain Simple Social Tools, by my site exclusive link, I will include the following bonuses to make the software even more complete. Special Bonus 1. Facebook Fan Page Profits. Special Bonus 2. Facebook Live Authority. Special Bonus 3. Kickstart Your Internet Business. Special Bonus 4. Fast Traffic Secrets. Special Bonus 5. Basic Elements Effective in Sales Page. If you acquire some of the Simple Social Tools updates, I have these exclusive bonuses. Exclusive Bonus 1. Amazon Affiliate Blueprint. Exclusive Bonus 2. Social Media Traffic. Exclusive Bonus 3. Social Media Marketing Boost. If the above were not enough, you are protected with a 14-day money-back guarantee. The only way you lose is by not getting your hands on Simple Social Tools right now. Get Simple Social Tools with no risk today, and make money as soon as you take action. My proposal now is: get Simple Social Tools right now, and save over 90%. The price on Simple Social Tools is going up fast. Don't wait, and pay more. If you close this Simple Social Tools review, and come back later, you run the risk of paying more, or missing out on this brand new software completely. Finally, my name's C.A. Lopez, and thank you for watching this short review video. I look forward to seeing you becomes a success online, and as always, I can't wait to see you on the inside.